It's time. Hey everybody, good evening. Class is in session. Before we get too far, how is sound? Sound check, please. Hey ZA Loader. Hi Tanuki. Sound is good, music's good, I'm assuming. Cause I think I figured out how to fix my vocal audio, my microphone, so that you guys can hear me over moderately loud music. So yay. And then lo-fi because we're still chilling. Unless we get a raid. Alright, let's get started. Oh, there we go. There it is. Alright, now let me just make sure everything is good. We all Gucci. Alright. Oh, hold on, my camera's a little crooked. Big ass fingers coming in. There we go. So this right here is all you're gonna need. Well, sort of. This is more of an optional thing. This is a fabric measuring tape, which does come in handy if you do a lot of crochet. You got your scissors, you got your yarn. We're gonna be doing 2 colors tonight, and you got your hook. Look at that baby. So first thing you do before you crochet, whether you are brand new newbie or a seasoned veteran of the crochet community, is you want to stretch your wrist. My camera's not up very high because I do have limited space, unfortunately. But if you are an artiste in any way, shape, or form, you're just gonna like roll your wrists around. Well, you can kind of see the shadow of me doing it. Neat. And then you're gonna flex those fingers. Flex, open, shut, open, shut. Make sure you really like stretch out the tips. And your thumbs. Oh my gosh, stretch out your thumbs, guys. Trust me on this. No, ignore this little book thing. I'm gonna hide that away. A little bit. Jeez. There we go. Better. Yeah, warm up those wrists nice and good. Warm up those fingers all nice and good, because you're gonna need that. Crochet is exercise for your hands, and just like all exercise, you need to stretch. There you go. And I'm also going to stretch out my shoulders. So what you're going to do is we're going to do the first thing we're going to do is we're going to make a slip knot. So this is my way of making a slip knot. I twist it around the finger, make a little wiggle space. This is my first time doing crochet on like a camera like this, so this is going to be like a new experience for all of us here. But this bit goes in, make a little loop, and then you pull the loop through, hold on to these 2 ends, pull them tight. Nice and tight, and you've got a slip knot. Put your hook on, and then you're going to tighten it. Ideally, this little shorter bit right here is what you're going to pull, but if not, that's okay. Nice and tight. Just like that. And I can't believe I forgot to mention this, but you're going to want to take your measurements beforehand. So what we're doing is we're making arm braces. You're still having the pull issue? Like what part? Is it just like pulling on the yarn or? Pulling on the yarn. Oh, that one. Yeah, this crochet is not something you're going to master on one day. I'm sorry to tell you that right now. It is not something you're going to master in a day. This is going to take a lot of practice. Well, depending on the stitch you're doing, you could probably master it in a day, but I would not recommend trying to master more than maybe 2-3 stitches in a day. And trust me, there's a lot of them. Get the basics down first though. But it's okay. So what I do when I crochet is I usually hold my yarn like this. Except this right here is usually what's holding my what's it? The actual project. So I just in between my fingers like that. My grandmother taught me a way to hold the yarn her way, but it did not feel right with me, so. But yeah, crochet is just a lot of practice and patience. Nuki, since I know you're a little more trapped on time than probably a lot of people watching, personally what I recommend is starting with the bigger yarn and the bigger hook. Blanket yarn, the Bernat blanket yarn. This is not a sponsor stream, by the way. This is just my observations. But the Bernat blanket yarn is perfect for those of you who are just starting out. Because it gets you familiar with holding the hook, gets you familiar with manipulating the yarn, and it's on a large enough scale that you can, for the most part, see what you're doing. So now we're going to chain 2 because we're going to do what is more commonly known as the foundation stitch, which is really good for, hold on, I gotta see. Excuse me. The foundation stitch is really useful for like if you're doing clothing and things you're gonna wear. Thank you, Nuki. Because unlike the classic chain, it allows more room to stretch. Hold on, I think I have a completed one somewhere. Give me like 2 seconds. I got projects all over the place right now. Nope, not there. Not there. Ah! Petal, welcome in. You are just in time to witness me running around with a chicken, like a chicken with my head cut off. Let's see, is there one in here? Nope. Where are they? Where did I put them? Did I put them in the... No, they're not in the keychain bucket. Huh. Alright, so real fast, I'm going to do a regular chain. And for that, you're just going to... You're going to hook your yarn. And you're going to pull it through. I'm going to make this a little bit bigger first, though. Oh, no, that's tight. There we go. And if this is your first crochet project and it's a little loose, that's perfectly all right. So you're gonna hook and pull through. Oh, I missed a couple of strands, which is okay. We just pull it back out and try again. take as many tries as you need to. Oh, gosh darn it. Hold on. I'm switching out yarns. This one's a little bit too loose. Loosey-goosey. There we go. This one's a bit better. So again, we're gonna do the slip knot. Just finger, wrap it around, make a little hole. Put this, the long string, that part's gonna go through. And then the short string right here becomes what you pull to tighten it. Wait, I did this backwards. Aw, man. You know what? That's okay, though. Because it doesn't matter. The end result is still the same. You have a slip knot that you can use. And like I said, I hold my yarn like this. You experiment, and there's a ton of other crocheters on YouTube and TikTok. You guys can watch them, see how they hold their yarn, and experiment and see what feels most comfortable for you. Crochet is not a a linear experience. So we're just gonna do a chain, but that's not what we're going to use to start this project. This is just to show you guys the differences between a regular chain foundation and an actual foundation chain. And yeah, there's probably easier ways to do it. Like I saw someone sit with the hook like right in between their thighs, and they just manipulated the yarn with both their hands. But like, see, this is how I hold my projects, like this. Then you just hook and you pull through. Hook and pull through. And yeah, you guys are allowed to get frustrated at yourself. You're allowed to get frustrated that this isn't easy. You guys are learning. Little baby steps. You guys are little baby crocheters. Still learning the ropes. And unlike birds, I'm not gonna push you out of the nest and make you start doing like freaking granny squares right off the bat. Although granny squares are probably one of the more easier projects you can do. Anyway, this is your basic chain. Pretty rigid. Which if you're doing something like a blanket or a small project, this is perfect for that. It's super rigid, super tight. You know how big it's gonna be. However, human bodies fluctuate. And I don't know about you guys, but wrists swell up, ankles swell up, arms swell up. People gain and lose weight. It happens. So what we're going to do instead is something called a foundation stitch, which is a bit more complicated, but we got this. So we're going to put our slip knot back on our hook. Let me know if I'm going too fast. Oh, hold on. Who's just coming into my home? There we go. Morgie, if you're watching this, that was really cute and adorable. But yeah, Dragoon is right. I do have a thing about spiders. I don't handle spiders well. Jumping spiders are like the only exception. but they have to be like ridiculously cartoony for me to be okay with them. Anyway, foundation stitch. We are going to chain 1 chain, chain 2, and chain 3. And a bit of a pro tip, not really a pro tip, but this bit right here on the hook, that does not count as a chain. Instead, these down here do. So I've got 1, 2, 3 chains. Now what we're going to do is we're going to put our hook back into the first chain. This is going to take a little bit of finagling. Come on. There we go. Like that. So now you have 2 loops on the hook. And your chain is doing a little piggyback. See? A little piggyback. Up, 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 up. Sorry, I'm a bit of a goofy mood. So now what we're going to do is we are going to hook the yarn. Oh, hook the yarn. Come on. We're going to pull it through both loops. Come on. There we go. And just a second. It's gonna look like this. And you can see there's this little tiny hole right there. Actually, hold on, let's go back. Let's go back a couple of steps. I'm gonna add one more loop, a couple more loops to make it a bit bigger for you guys. I know I'm being difficult and confusing, and for that I'm sorry. But I also haven't actually taught people to crochet in a few years, and this is my first time doing it online, so some patience, please. Alright, so I did 3, so I want to do 4. 1. Oh, come on. 2, 3. I think that's 4. Hold on. 2, 3, 4. Yep, that's 4. And then into the first loop. Yarn over. Pull through 1. Pull through 2. And hold on. I'm going to use my yarn needle, but you can see there's a little hole here now. A little bit of a hole. Right there. So what we're going to do is we're going to chain 1, chain 2, and we're going to put our hook through that hole there. There's 2 more loops. We're gonna pull 1 loop through, and this is the same maneuver as a double crochet. So you're gonna have 2 loops on your hook. You're gonna hook over your yarn and you're gonna pull through 1, just the 1 loop. So you still have 2 loops on your hook. And then we're gonna go back. And this time we're going to pull through 2. We're going to pull through both. Whoops. Lost my yarn. We're going to pull through both loops. And there's that hole. I'm going to stick the hook into that hole. Yarn over. Pull through. Yarn over. Pull through 1. yarn over, pull through 2, pull through 2 please, 2 please, just a second, there we go, pull through 2, hook in the hole, yarn over, pull through, pull through 1, pull through 2. Now notice this one looks a bit more scrunched up. That's okay because look, it stretches. And that comes in really handy when you're doing things like sleeves. Now this is just a foundation. This is the first, this is like, it's basically the first 2 rows of your project. But it only counts as 1 row. Pretty cool, huh? Now, measurements, because we're doing a little wrist thing, what you want to do is you want to take either a length of yarn or your measuring tape if you have it. If you have a measuring tape, you can use it, you can actually write down the length you need. Since I'm making this for my kid, I already went ahead and made the measurements. However, I'm assuming you guys probably didn't. So what you're going to do is you're going to take your yarn, you're going to wrap it around whatever you're measuring. So in this case, I'm measuring my palm. And you're going to want a little bit of an overage, because that's your mistake zone, as I like to call it. That's your boo-boo zone. Now if you want, you can just wrap it, you can just wrap the yarn around you loosely and then just use that extra space as your boo-boo zone. Or you can do it tight and take an extra inch or 2 as your little boo-boo zone. Either way, perfectly acceptable. But what you're going to do is you're going to find the length that you're going to allow yourself, and you're going to take your scissors, do a little cutty, and the length that you cut is how long you need to make your foundation stitch. Unless you already measured, in which case you probably already know how long you need to do it. And for the love of God, write down your measurements. If it fluctuates a little bit, that's what the boo-boo zone is for. But write down your measurements. I know you're going to tell yourself, oh, it's okay, I'll remember. You will not. Trust me, you will not. Now, a lot about making clothes, especially if you're making clothes for yourself, is freehand. This is like you can find patterns and stuff, but they're not always gonna fit you. So you gotta freehand it. Alright. Also, sippies. Drink water. So what you want to do is, knowing that, where did I put it? Where did I put the string? There's the string. Here's the string. What I like to do is, you see this little tail? I'll take like a paper clip or, oh, what's it called? A binder clip, and I will clip these two together. Hold on. Or you can use like a safety pin in some cases, or a straight pin. You can just kind of hold these two together, and then as you crochet, you just easy measurement right there. Oh hey, I still have that far to go. Nice and easy. Which is why, for beginners especially who might not have a measuring tape, I definitely recommend the yarn method. So here's what I'm gonna do, is I'm gonna keep making these foundation crochets. these foundation stitches. Because, and let me grab my notebook. My notebook fell on the floor. Let me grab something to grab my notebook with. Boop. When you crochet, notebooks are going to be your best friend. Especially if you find patterns you like and you don't have a dedicated binder yet. Alright, I need this to be 5.5 inches. So I'm going to be doing this for a little while. Let's see. There we go. Into the hole. Hook over. Pull through 1. Pull through 2. Come on, pull through 2, please. In the hole. Yarn over. Pull through 1. Pull through 2. Come on, pull through. You little booger. Pull through, please. And yes, these are thoughts that go through my head. Now, another little tip that I like to advertise is pull out some yarn ahead of time. Don't pull out too much yarn. Just a little bit like that. Makes things a little easier. Alright. Into the hole. Pull through. Pull through 1. Pull through 2. Into the hole. Yarn over. Pull through. Pull through 1. Pull through 1. Pull through 2. Into the hole. Yarn over. Pull through 1. Pull through 1. Thank you. Come on. And again, friendly reminder, this is a learning process. Whoops. It's going to take a while to get that muscle memory going. Pull through 1. Yarn over. Come on, buddy. Come on, buddy. Stubborn little yarn. Pull through 2. Come on. Pull through. And see, I've been crocheting for years and I still get this stuff. I still deal with these things. Now sometimes your yarn is your hook's gonna catch on a different loop, and that's okay. It happens. Just pull it through. To the best of your abilities, separate the stray thread. And yeah. Into the hole. Pull through. Yarn over, pull 1. Yarn over, pull 2. Not sure if this could help, but I move the hook to the left, moving under the yarn to the right and turn left. So you move hook to the left, under, turn right. Oh, hey! Cool. That would work. That would work. Like, if that works for you, that works for you. Other way? Okay, so you do that, and then turn. Like that. Cool. And yeah, yarn crochet is, a lot of it is just discovering what works best with you. And again, it's a matter of just being patient with yourself. And I would like to apologize again for the bad camera. I do not have a lot of space. And before it gets requested, no, you guys are not allowed to crowdfund for a desk. You guys are already crowdfunding for a computer. Whoops. I don't think all the yarn... Yep. I get cut. That's okay. How about I go in the hole, yarn over, pull through one, pull through one, please, pull through two, yarn over, pull through one, pull through one, pull through two. A lot of crochet is just repetitive movement, which is why it makes such a great STEM activity. Unless you're making a doll. Like if you're making a piece of clothing like this, or like a little tapestry, yeah, it's great because like for the most part it's like one color. Alright, so I'm going, oh, I got a little twisted right here, and that's okay. I know how to handle that. I'm gonna take a moment and I'm gonna measure. Get the measuring tape. Because like I said, I need 5.5 inches. And you want 5.5 inches, not stretched. So don't pull. Just leave it nice and slack like that. And see, I'm already at about 5 inches. Not bad, huh? But then again, it's for a kid. Into the hole. Yarn over. Pull one. Pull one. Pull two. Oops. Let's try that pull two again. I'm gonna try it Nuki's way. Oh wow, that is so much easier. Well, it's more of a... it guarantees more. It guarantees it actually goes through. Come on. Separate, please. Oh, and by the way, this is only one of the ways you can learn how to do this. You can do this particular thing. This method does require a minor bit of sewing, because what you're doing is we're sewing, we are crocheting essentially the fabric, and then when it's time to put it together, we're going to fold over. And you're going to have a seam going up that way. There is another method of making a gauntlet sleeve warmer type thing where you're going essentially in a round. They both start off the same. You're going to be doing a foundation stitch, but one creates a flat panel and the other one kind of turns into a bit of a tube. Alright, I'm gonna measure real fast because again I only need about, oh, it's already there. I only need about 5.5 inches roughly. Remember, when you're measuring for your own thing, you're going to measure large. So I'm going to finish up this stitch right here. I think I need to do, oh no, I already did the 1, so this needs to be the 2. Pull through 2. There we go. Now, if you're working it around, you're going to want to do a slip stitch. And here's what that looks like. You're going to find your end. The tail, this bit, goes at the bottom. So this needs to point down. What you're going to do is you're going to make sure straight. You're going to slide the hook into that first loop again. Yarn over. And instead of where you would have a regular stitch, a single crochet stitch, you would you would yarn over again and pull through. Instead, you're going to keep your original loop that you just pulled through, and you're going to pull through again. And that is your slip stitch. Now notice I got a little hooked. Get it? I got hooked. So to easily remedy that, I am going to pull out the yarn a little bit. Yep, but maybe at some point when I figure out, maybe when I get like a Steam Deck, I'll set like a rim shot shortcut or thing. But yeah, you would just do that to get back on top. Now Tanuki, since you are the one who inspired tonight's stream, which would you rather learn how to do? Crochet in a round or crochet in a panel? Because either way, you're going to be learning the same stitches, buddy. I'll let you decide that, and I'm going to take a sip of soda. Because I already had water. Alright. So I'm going to ask you an important question, because this is a product that I did not mention you should grab. And that's my boo-boo. That is 100% my boo-boo. Here beyond, far behind. That's okay. Tonight you're just learning the stitches. You're gonna learn the basics of what you need, and then you are going to apply them. And you have my DMs. You can contact me at any point. Now, do you have either of these type of needles? These are yarning needles. These are or yarn or I believe tapestry needles. I don't know. They have big ass eyes, which are those little holes right there. You don't? Okay, so you, my friend, are going to learn how to crochet in a round today. Let me put these away. And don't forget, you can always just frog it. Okay? Tonight, you're going to learn how to make it in miniature. And then you don't have, well, there is one part you're gonna have to like use snip snips at, but that's when we change colors, which you're also gonna learn how to do tonight. You're learning a lot tonight, buddy. But you know what? I'll wait. Let me know when you are ready to, when you got your round ready. I am probably gonna do a doodle. Let's see. Tiny paper, tiny paper. Dost I have a tiny paper? I has tiny, well, I have an envelope. I have an envelope I can doodle on. Oh yeah, I got stickers. I love my waifu. She knows I like Halloween, mostly because you're at the very beginning. Oh. It's okay. You're good. This is why this is probably going to go up as a VOD pretty much immediately. Like, I will upload it tonight before I go to sleep. And then that way you can replay, rewatch all the bits you need to over and over again. Because learning. Let me just put that away. But we do not shame here. If you do shame, get out of my chat. Oh, excuse me. Alright, let me find the long bit. Alright, and now we are going to learn something called a half double crochet, which is it's kind of easy. It's another one that takes quite a bit of practice, but what you're gonna do is you're going to yarn over before you go into the stitch. So you're gonna start with 2 loops on your hook, and this is where things get a little tricky. You're going to insert your hook into the stitch. You're going to yarn over again. Pull through the 1. So you have 3 loops on your hook. Yarn over one more time, and you're going to pull through all 3. And that is a half double crochet. And you're going to do that all the way around. Loop over. Insert the hook into the stitch. Pull through 1. Yarn over. Pull through 3. Yarn over. Up. Insert the stitch. Pull through 1. Pull through 3. Now I'm going to do a bit more of a yarn pull. Now if you want to do more of like a nice little tapestry, like you've got yourself a little grid that you want to make, you're going to use a single crochet, which we're not going to learn tonight. Tonight we're going to focus on the half double crochet. So yarn over, insert into the stitch, yarn over and pull through 1, and pull through 3. Yarn over into the stitch, yarn over, pull through 1, and pull through 3. You can kind of see it's starting to Starting to come alive. It's alive! Yarn over. Insert the hook. Yarn over. Pull through 1. Pull through 3. And I know my phone just vibrated, but I'm not gonna check it. Because my phone is currently my camera. I only have the one web camera right now. Oh, hold on, I got a DM. Mope. I got a lovely bunch of coconuts. Diddly-dee. There we go. Alright, yarn over. Insert the hook. Pull through 1. Pull through 3. We're just going to keep doing that around. And this is not my actual pace when I crochet. I'm actually a bit faster than this. I'm going a bit slower right now though because 1, normally I have the crochet up to me like this because I am blind dryad. And 2, I want you guys to be able to see what I'm doing. To the best that I can provide. Come on. Come on. Ah! Oh, jeez. Nora Lizzie, welcome to the Frog Army. My name is Aiden. I am a Dryad Druid. And tonight we are crocheting. We just did a whole foundation stitch. We did it in a round, and now we are doing half double crochets into our foundation stitch to make a little sleeve. A little brace sleeve type thing. My children have like a little Halloween thing tomorrow, and I'm making a black and red one for the oldest. For the oldest goblin. Wait. Okay, I did do that right. For me, for the most part, a lot of these stitches are basically just muscle memory. So a lot of times I will lose track of what I'm doing. And it'll be like 6, 7 whole stitches later before I realize, oh hey, I'm still going. Hold on. And this is where I got a little twisted around when I was making the foundation stitches. So I'm just gonna force it through right here. Yeah, I think I'm doing. Hold on, let me double check. Which yarn would you say is better for warmth? Wool. Wool or cotton is better for warmth. Acrylic yarn is cheap, yes, and it can be very cozy yarn. But if you want to be like super warm, I would definitely go with wool. However, wool can be pretty pricey, not gonna lie. Hold on. Let me double check something again. Unfortunately, with a round, it's really easy to get twisted around. Especially with using the foundation crochet chain. Really easy to get twisted. The arm sleeve will be for the con in March. It's still cold and there is wind. Ooh, yeah. So, since you did buy acrylic because I recommended the acrylic, you should be okay actually. But I might recommend getting like a fleece to sew on the inside. So in that case, you're definitely going to want to use a bigger measurement for your round. But also, oh my gosh, look how tiny my child's wrist is. It's so tiny. Making sure, yep. Also, if someone says that you should never sew fabric to your crochet, ignore them. They don't know what they're talking about. Because, 1, fabric is soft. Fabric is nice. Crochet is hard. Crochet can be itchy, depending on the yarn you use. Yarn can be cold, because it's got holes. Yarn doesn't have, well, it technically has more holes, but at the same time it doesn't. It's a tighter weave. Either way, fabric is good. Fabric plus crochet means you get to have a super pretty blanket that you made with yarn, but also be super soft. Plus, yarn, you making a yarn blanket also makes for a pretty good weighted blanket as well. Depending on the yarn you use. So like if you're using a smaller gauge yarn like this versus the Bernat yarn, which, give me a second. So for comparison, this is gauge 4 yarn. This is a gauge 6 yarn. Let me just put them together. Look how much bigger the gauge 6 is. However, the gauge 6 is usually made of a lighter material. I don't think I'll be using the fleece because of the gauze wrapping you'll be using. Yeah. That's perfectly fine. But yeah, this is the Bernat blanket yarn. This is good for making super fluffy, chunky projects. Super chunky, super soft. And also good for weighted stuff. For the most part. But this, you get a whole bunch of these, and that blanket gonna be heavy, heavy, buddy. It gonna be one heckin' heavy blankie. Sippy sip. And for the record, give me a second. This big chunker is the size that's usually recommended when working with the Bernat yarn. This is a 10mm hook. And this isn't even the biggest size hook. I think this is just the biggest I have. Because they get bigger. And there's chunkier yarn. The biggest, I believe, is actually a 20 millimeter hook. But at that point, you will have to make, like, you are essentially making the yarn that you are crocheting with at that point. Now, let's see, the smallest hook I have let's see, let me see if I can find it. Let's see. Clinky, clinky, clink goes all the crochet hooks. This is the smallest hook I have. Look at that itty bitty guy. Because believe it or not, the 5.0 hook, that's the average size for the yarn you're going to use. This is for something called micro crochet. And they get smaller. This hook size is 0.130. And there are hooks that get as small as 0.05 millimeters. At that point, you are literally sewing with thread. The bots be bottin'. Give me a second. Let me just shift this over here. Go away, spooky bot. Go away. Hold on. Where is... Rude. How do I... Ugh, I need a moderator. Yes, I need a sword. I currently has no swords. I has no knight. Get banned, loser. Do you wanna be a mod, Nuki? I can't pay in monies, but I can pay in experience. Oh man, are you one of those people? Yay! Well, I'm not gonna do it for. I'm not gonna make you do it for free. I'm gonna. I offers my teaching skills. And an you buy from my shop. That's what. Eesh. You can only crochet it's getting like, yeah, because it was like 10 o'clock when I started. It's like 11:30 for you right now. And that's perfectly alright. We're just here to chill. It's a chill stream. Alright, hold on. I'm gonna do a little speed up. Meaning I'm gonna finish this row real fast. Because tonight I am gonna keep it short. I will be streaming again tomorrow. And that one's gonna be a game stream. That one's gonna be video games. But before I end this stream, because I want to keep it at around an hour and a half, I want to show how to do a color change, because that gets tricky, especially with the technique that I know. And it's not a technique you have to do, but I find personally that it looks so much neater in my semi-professional opinion. And if you are a person who likes crocheted goods, I have a shop. If you live in the United States, I have a shop open. And here, let me show you some of my products, because this is my channel and I can promo myself all I want. Currently have a bit of a limited supply. But here are just a few of the little goodies. So you have the Octo 1.0. This is my original design for a little baby octopus. Octopus. You can't ban me. This is my channel. But yeah, it's a little messy on the bottom, but that's okay. That's a little keychain. He's just a little guy. So I've got these 1.0 Octos. I've got these little gummy bears, these little tie-dye gummy bears, currently in yellow and red. And they squish. They're squishy little dudes. And they're just so perfect. They're adorable. Look at them. Look at them. How can you say no to this face? How can you say no to this face? And this is a leaf. It's not just any leaf. It's got a marble inside it. So you can shift it and move it around. And it's a good little fidget toy if you are a nervous traveler like I am. Unfortunately, this leaf, the yarn that this leaf is made out of, has been discontinued. So while I do still have a skein of it left, this is a limited time item. And thanks to the yarn itself, like, hold on, let me grab it real fast. Let me just put these suckers away into the jar. Bam. Make a tesseract. I'm not gonna make a tesseract. I am not interested in traveling the 5th dimension. But as you can see, it's kind of like a weird gradient yarn. So each leaf is unique in its own special way. You're not gonna get the same leaf twice. No two people are gonna get the same leaf. And so yeah, it's pretty cool. Alright, and as you can see, we finished with this round. So what you're going to do is you're going to pull out a ton of the yarn. And since we're doing half double crochets, I like to make sure I have enough yarn to go around 4 times. If you're doing single crochet, being able to go around 2 times is usually good enough. So 1, 2, 3, 4, and you know, I'm gonna do an even 5 this time. And we're gonna do a little snippity snip. A little snippy snap. Let's not cut my finger. And put that away. Put away, put away, put away. Put away, put away, put away. Now this is going to seem a little confusing, and that's perfectly normal. What you're going to do is you're going to do a slip stitch. Yarn over, pull through. You're going to pull all the yarn through. This is called a finishing off. You're just going to tighten that. Now with your hook, you're going to slide it in here into this stitch. Come on. This stitch right here where you finished, right after you finished off, you're going to slip your hook in. You're going to yarn over. And you're going to pull it through. You're going to pull it all the way through. You're going to go back. And this stitch that you finished off on, you're going to slip the hook in. Wait, not right there. You're going to slip the hook in through the middle. So you see how it's got these little V's? You're going to slip it in through the V. Do not take that out of context. And then you're going to pull it through, all the way through. And then what you would normally do is you would weave in the end, this bit right here, through the back, making it an invisible end. Meaning if you are for the mostly untrained eye, you won't be able to tell where it finished, which is the goal here. Now instead, what we're going to do is, since we know where we finished, we are going to yarn over. We're gonna start the what's it called? We're gonna start with a single crochet, or I believe, hold on, yeah, we can start this with a double crochet, with a half double crochet. So you're just gonna pull through the yarn and you got your loop again. Yarn over, insert back into the same loop that you just pulled the first one out of. Yarn over, pull out, and do not pull this bit through yet. Instead, you're going to grab color number 2, which for us is black, like my soul. And again, this is where having like a little binder clip, little safety pin, comes in handy, because then you can just, a paper clip, hook it right there. But what you're going to do is you're going to pull the black through the 3 stitches instead. Like that. Now, instead of just starting to crochet with the black yarn, you're gonna go back to the red. Pull a little tight, like that. And this is where having a binder clip really comes in handy, because then your yarn is not all over the place like that. But grab your red again, yarn over, slide into the next stitch's DMs, pull the yarn through. Wait, something, oh, yep, all three right here. And again, you're gonna go with the black through the three. Your secondary color through the three. And back to the red. Yarn over into the next one, pull through, switch to the black, and there you go. And as you can see, you're kind of starting to get a line up here of just the black stitches. So again, with the red, yarn over, push it through, yarn over, pull back, switch to black, yarn over the black, pull through the three, back to the red, yarn over red, into the next stitch, yarn over red, pull through, yarn over black, pull through. See? And I'm going to do a little speed up of this for the sake of time. This is honestly like one of my most favorite ways to change colors. And the sad thing is I only learned it recently. I only learned it like, I think a month ago. The crochet side of TikTok has taught me many wonderful things. Many, many wonderful things. And not just free patterns. Although there are a lot of free patterns on TikTok. And a lot of them have like video tutorials as well to go with the patterns, which is very handy. Also, I'm not soulless, I'm not a ginger, I'm a verdant. I think that's what we're called. I don't know. What is it called when you have leaves for hair? When you have vines for hair, what's that called? Aside from Fae, because I already know that. No, not leaves in my hair, leaves as my hair. I mean, yes, there are leaves in my hair because I'm wearing a flower crown. But I also have leaves as my... I'm a dryad! Come on! We don't exactly have normal human bodies. We just look human. Although I'm not sure how accurately that statement is for me because I was originally born a human. I has questions. If I could find my Fae Guardian, I have so many questions for them. But I don't know where my Fae Guardian is. I don't know how to get back to my Fae Guardian, so stuff. Bum 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 bum. Oh. Almost done. I love this lo-fi. Alright, one more stitch to do. And bada bing, bada boom. You can see, okay, so normally you would turn this part inside out when you're done. And then on the outside, this is what it looks like. A nice even round, for the most part, all the way around. And again, for the mostly untrained eye, they're not gonna see a difference. They ain't gonna notice. And then what you can do is what I like to do, because I will not be changing color after this round, is I will just start back with the double crochets. Just in the secondary color. And see, it is a smooth transition. And then this part, this little red part that was up here, you just weave it in. But it's a nice smooth it looks like a nice smooth transition. People aren't really gonna notice unless they're like really scrutinizing what you're doing, which is very nice. And that's how you do a color change. Now, before we leave, I want to discuss doing an increase, because if you notice the front, where your wrist is and where the end of your sleeve is going to be, they're not the same size. So what you're going to do is we're going to do an increase real fast. And an increase is essentially 2 stitches in the same stitch. So we already did the one half double crochet here. So what you're going to do is you're just going to do it again. Loop over. You're going to insert into the same stitch as the last one. The exact same stitch. And I don't know why I chose black as as a color, because you guys can't really see what you're doing that well. Heck, I can barely see what I'm doing with this camera. So it's just another stitch in the stitch. And there you go. And so what you're gonna do is, personally, I would do like, maybe I would start around with Those terrible projector cameras. I know which ones you're talking about. I grew up using those in my school. What you're going to do is you're going to start and end each round with the increased stitch. So as you can see right here, this is kind of where the seam is. This is where you start your round. So it's going to be in front and behind this little seam right here. And this is where having more than one color of yarn comes in handy, or having like a scrap cloth, because you can use that as a stitch marker. Now they do sell like actual stitch markers that you can like hook into the yarn and stuff, but honestly, if you do a lot of crochet, you're gonna have a lot of little itty bitty scraps. This is just one of the little, this is just like a small bit of my stash. What do you do with the rest of the red yarn? Are you talking about like in this bit? Or in general, the rest of the skein? You're gonna weave it in. So this is where, so I'm gonna enlarge this hoop so that way it doesn't come undone. But if you don't have one of the needles, hold on. If you don't have a yarn needle, you can actually use your crochet hook to help weave in ends. Allow me to demonstrate. I'm going to actually demonstrate on this sad little strand here at the bottom. Hold on, here at the bottom. You're going to insert your hook. You're going to grab the loop. You're going to pull through. However, you are not going to crochet it. Instead, you're going to go around. You're going to insert into the next loop. Go ahead, snag that bit of yarn and pull all the way through. And you're just going to keep alternating inside, outside, until either the yarn is completely gone or you are satisfied with how far in it is. And again, to the untrained eye, no one's gonna notice. And after a bit of practice, even to the trained eye, no one's gonna notice. But personally, after I do like 5 or 6, because you can like see right here, you can just kind of weave in. No, okay. So you can cut it after you weave it a certain number of times. Personally, for me, the magic number is 5. So I will weave it in and I'll weave it out 5 times each. And then I'll cut it. Or until you run out of yarn. Or until I run out of yarn. However, never, ever, 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 ever cut your yarn right next to the entry point or exit point. Ever. Never, ever, 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 ever. That, my friend, is a recipe for disaster. I mean, with acrylic yarn, you can melt it together and make it more secure. Yeah, but eventually that's going to fray. And when that frays, it's going to come undone. And when this comes undone, the whole thing will come undone. Because all it takes is for this thread right here on the inside to come to the outside. And the whole thing is ruined. Because one good yank, my friend, one good yank is all it takes. But for this part, for the color change part, a somewhat easy solution is something we like to call a square knot. Square knot. and then you weave in the ends. But you don't cut it right here. Ever. No. That is big no-no. Because again, that is a big recipe for disaster. That is recipe for unraveled work. Now! Now! You knock that off. Also, sippies. I know you're in bed, so you better be using a straw. But like right here, on the bottom one, since I did weave in already, it's good to snip. And at that point, you're going to want to snip it as close to the last entry point as you can. Like that. And then just kind of smooth it out. And if you have a sewing needle, what I know a lot of people will do... Hold on. Is they will take just an average sewing needle and they will use a practice called needle felting. What that is so you can't really see the tuft, which is good, but say you could. Let's see, let me use a piece of scrap for this part actually. Like say it's right there. And for the sake of this demonstration, it's red. What a lot of crocheters will do is they'll take this needle. So they'll take just a regular sewing needle, hold the yarn flat, and stab it in. Just stabby, 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 stab. Until it's essentially become one with the fabric. And they do sell like actual needle felting needles for this sort of thing. But if you're in like a pinch or a bind, they'll usually just use a regular needle. Personally, I don't like that method because I don't like the idea of accidentally stabbing myself. Let me scrap those and put those in the scraps. But yeah. Also, occasionally you're going to have longer bits of yarn that are too small to do little projects with, but are too big for you to feel comfortable throwing away. It's perfectly alright to hold on to those. Because in another episode later on, when I get enough of my own personal little scraps, I'm going to show you guys how to do a Russian join. And I can introduce you guys to the world of scrap projects. But for now, I want to keep the stream short. And we already touched on the stuff I wanted to touch on, which was the initial chain stitch, the foundation chain stitch, and half double crochets, and changing colors, and increase. So since this is going to be on YouTube, you guys can go back and rewatch at any point, and I'll make sure to like put little breaks and tags and stuff. I'm not saying that out loud. I refuse on principle. I am not saying that out loud. I mean, if you guys want to follow, that's up to you. I'm not going to guarantee more crochet content because like I'm not going to like guarantee something I can't guarantee. I don't feel comfortable guaranteeing. I will guarantee that there will be more video games and definitely more Traveler's Rest. I can guarantee that. I cannot necessarily guarantee more crochet. Milky, I will take away your mod powers. You sneaky little tanuki. Alright, let's go back here. And we're going to do a stretch because if you're like me, when you crochet, you kind of shrimp over a little bit. And don't forget, when you are crocheting, like at the beginning of the video, stretch out your wrist and your fingers. You will thank me in the long run, especially if this becomes an intense hobby of yours like it does me. You thought kitsunes were the mischievous ones? Clearly you have never met a fae. Because while yes, kitsune can be pretty mischievous, they're nothing compared to the fae. Alright, let us do a raid. Raid. Ooh! There is Merperoni, who's playing retro. And Jen is playing Yomawari, Night Alone. I think I'm going to go with retro. That sounds like the less spooky one. Oh, I think he's just playing a bunch of retro games. So yeah, we're going to do that. And oh, nope. There we go. Oh. And yeah, we're gonna do that. So thank you guys for joining me tonight. I hope you guys had a lovely time, and I will see you later. Bye-bye.